You guys are so patient. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Oh, God. I was hungry. I hadn't had anything to eat. I had a piece of cheese when I got up, and I got up so late. Hmm. All right, here we are. So we're back in Uhura's hut. It's, I think, evening. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a conversation. Not Uhura's, maybe it was Rikisha's. Anyway, we're in one of the huts. We're gonna have a conversation with him, and then it's time for the character to go take a nap. When we get up in the morning, it'll allow our character to freely roam the village. This is the first opportunity for my character to actually start building his stats. So this is actually where I left off when I first played it about a year ago. So anyway, we'll jump right in here and see how this goes. The Liban. I think that the Liban told us only what he wanted to know about this war. When you have earned his trust, perhaps he will tell you more. I do not understand why the Leopardmen would want to fight the Simbani. The Leopardmen usually stay in the jungles. They are only out at night. The Simbani, on the other hand, stay on the savannah, and they only hunt by day. There is little interaction between the tribes. That the Leopardmen would suddenly start a war, not only with the Simbani, but with my people as well, is something beyond my belief. The jungle is just to the east of here. The Leopardmen have their village hidden there somewhere. It is said to be protected by magic. Krisha believes that the spell on the Leopardmen village prevents outsiders from even seeing the village. It is said that no one can see what Leopardman does, not want one to see. The savannah is very beautiful, but it can be very dangerous as well. Take care as you travel, my friend. On the savannah, the places of safety are far apart. Do not travel too far from them before you know what you are doing. You will be safest in Tarna or the Simbani village. There is supposed to be a magical lake somewhere to the south that will be safe as well. So we've already talked about that, talked about that. Uhura will be glad to help you in any way she can, but she cannot go against the will of the Liban. Now I got the hiccups. Uhura is a warrior and she is sworn to obey the Liban. Uhura proved herself worthy of title warrior during an initiation ceremony some time back. The reason she traveled to Shapir was to retain her status as warrior. To prove that one is a warrior, one must undergo a series of trials testing one's skills. Through initiation, one becomes welcomed as a respected adult in this tribe. The trials vary each time, but are designed to test both physical skills and cunning. The trials can be done alone or in competition. Sometimes several young ones undergo an initiation at the same time. So these trials are actually what we'll get into, because your character, the hero, will be able to undergo those trials to become a warrior. It's not a requirement in the game, I don't think. It's not something that will, prevent you from finishing it, but it is something that adds points if you're really looking into it. She wished to have a child, but a wife cannot be a warrior. She now has Simba, and no man here can claim her. She remains a warrior. I have no doubt that Simba will be a fine warrior like his mother someday. As I said, I will go back to Tarna and find out if Krisha has learned anything more about demons. Learn what you can here from the Simbani and try to keep them from starting this war. Return to Tarna whenever you need to do so. Until I know for certain that demons are again released into Tarna, I need to stay near my brother. One of the things about this particular mission here, in order to get back to Tarna, I have to be able to fight my way back. So I have to build my weapon skills. My melee, my overall weapon skills are pretty weak because I started out as a wizard, so I had no reason for, you know, physical combat in the first two. Now that I'm a paladin, I have to be able to build those up because my wizarding skills are going to be subpar. So it's really doubly difficult, I guess, dual classing in this game. Raja still believes that war is honorable. He will be trying to convince the council to declare war upon the Leopardmen, and unless I am in Tarna, Raja may succeed in starting this war. To the Simbani, the essence of honor is trust. They are a very open people and share evenly all members of the tribe. To the Lyantars, honor is a matter of pride in obeying the laws of Tarna. To the Paladin, honor is doing whatever it takes to bring about the greatest good for all. Yeah, I think I always started Fighter when going for Paladin. It would have made more sense. Yeah, and that was actually why I stopped playing, is because I had to grind for days, in the game days, not literal days, trying to build throwing skill and all of that. It was a real pain in the butt. The attack upon Peace Mission is an attack upon Lyantars. It is only our word that stands between Tarna and war. The Pledge of Honor for Peace means that we must do everything we can to learn the truth behind the attack upon the Peace Mission. We must do everything in our power to bring the Leopardmen and the Simbani together and end this enmity. I feel in my soul that my daughter is still alive. When we find her, we will know the truth. We must find her. The way of the Paladin is very difficult and lonely at times, for you must trust your own heart to know what is right, and not the judgment of others. The longer you stay here, the more the Simbani and the Liban will learn to respect you. However, do not use magic before the Simbani. They distrust and fear magic. Alright, so we're pretty much done now. Can store, okay, yeah, that's a good thing. Alright, so we're gonna take a little rest. Actually, can I get up? What is it, nighttime outside? I can't remember if it's night out there or not. I don't remember what time of day it is. Oh yeah, night indeed. It is difficult to sleep the first night in a new place, I know, but you should at least try to rest. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and have him sleep till morning, and then we'll go and do the morning stuff, the quests in the village. Which will include my my preparing for trial. You awaken as the sun begins to rise. Rakesh left the hut at first light. You vaguely remember hearing his farewell. And this game was a bit grindy at this point for sure. Let's save. There we go. We'll call this Day 2. Basically initiation. So I know I can go this way and I can go north. I think I can go to the right and take me somewhere else, but if I go south, it'll take me to the village gate. So we're going to go this way. I think this is where the trials initiate. Oh, that's right! I forgot about this game. Welcome, Prince of Shapira. Uhura be telling us that you soon here. I am Yusufu. I am the son of the Liban. I am also a very good Awari player. That is the game you see before me. This is the game of Awari. I will be happy to show you how it is played. The The side near me be my side. The hole on the end of your left be my home. The hole on the end of your right be your home. This is interesting music. 3 stones be put in all of the other holes. We be taking turns moving stones from one hole to the other. You move first, pick a hole on your side, and move all the stones to the right. Drop 1 stone in each hole. If the last stone land in your home, then you get 1 more turn. If the last stone land in an empty hole, then you capture all the stones across from it. You get to put them and the capturing stone in your home. The game ends when either side have no more stones. Only home have stones. The player with the most stones in this home be the winner. The other player be the loser. We be playing just for fun because you have no cows. I'll let you play the first stones. Okay. Oh, I see. Wow, he's kicking my butt, isn't he? I think I'm getting the idea of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. Yeah, I'm getting the idea. I'm probably gonna have to do this one again. I basically just gave him all my pieces is what I did. I screwed that one up bad. Wow. Yeah, he's gonna kick my butt. Something horrible. You got my stones! That sounds painful. Now the game is over. I have more stones in my home than... Yeah, but it actually did pretty good. I made a bit of a comeback. Yeah, let's play again. Oh my god, thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in, guys. Hello, everybody. Let's see if I can pause this. I can't pause it. Sorry, just pause as it is. Alvis Joe. ALVS Joe? A loves Joe? Not really sure. What do you go by, Joe? Free Needles? It seems that you're streaming. Would you like a raid? Well, of course I would. Jeez, Joe is fine. How is everybody? Welcome in, Raiders. Good to see everybody here today. My name is Bittomann. I am a retro PC streamer. Mostly retro PC games. I don't do strictly. But it's good to see everybody today. Absolutely wonderful. What were you playing, actually? Clippy did indeed send you. The only Clippy I'm not upset to see. Seems my bot is being facetious. Why is it taking so long? Hello, bot? Bot, what's going on? Playing a little Half-Life for the first... Really? You've never played Half-Life before? How are you enjoying it? Because Half-Life was freaking awesome. That was like the first first-person shooter with a real story that was worth playing. Angry Butcher, excuse me, Angry Butcher. How are you doing? Let's see, who all we have? Free Needles, of course, man. Free Needles has, I would say you have no need for an introduction, but my God, you do. You're such an awesome guy, really. One Burb? What was I gonna say? Hello? Yeah, that's it, hello! Thank you for the follow, Angry Butcher, I appreciate that. How is everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. Hey man, I actually dodged out of your stream because I want to play this and don't want spoilers. Oh, thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Those who are not familiar, you should also go check out Free Needles as well. Easily the best emotes on Twitch. What is this Sierra game I see? Haven't seen it before. Wise Goat, this is Quest for Glory 3. This is a fantastic series. Pretty much everything that came out of Sierra from the mid 80s to the mid 90s, there was really not a bomb in that series. There were some that were pretty isolated in popularity, but these are absolutely some of the best that they ever did. I keep raving about the artwork for it, and I'm for the first time getting to experience this in an MT32 audio as well, and not just the single bleeps and bloops or emulated ad-lib audio that I've heard in the recent past. Watch his past records. There's Deus Ex. There are, Techord. Yes, there are. Thank you for that follow, Burb. Appreciate that. Deus Ex was freaking awesome. I did not think I was going to get through it. I really, truly did not think I was going to get through it. That was such a tough game to get past some of the bugs at the beginning. But I loved it. The story, oh my God, as it got further in, I just had so much follow. If you feel like it, it might make the, you know, it probably confuses the bot to be like, are you following? Are you not following? Are you following? Are you not following? So I'll tell you a little bit about what I do here. For the most part, I do retro PC games. On Wednesdays and Thursday mornings, Eastern Time, 7-ish, I am playing first and third person shooter action-adventure games like Deus Ex. And then on Friday mornings, I do a point-and-click series. I just started Quest for Glory today. So this is a brand new series for me to jump into because I've played the third one, but I never finished it. 4 and 5 I've never played. So since I played 1 and 2 earlier last year, I'm going to finish 3, and then we're going to work through 4 and 5 after that. But this is the first game I've actually played where I'm working towards making a pixel-perfect presentation of the game. In fact, so close that if you were to maximize the stream on a 1080p screen, you'd pretty much be seeing the same resolution I am, minus any kind of compression as a result of the actual stream itself. Man, now I need to revisit Half-Life, Deus Ex, and Sierra games. Well, you won't go wrong in Sierra games. They can be pretty tough, some of them, but and some of them will drive you crazy. But when it comes down to it, you can't go wrong. The stories, the artwork, the sound, it's just beautiful. Especially once you get to King's Quest IV. Only Day 7 is available, no older. I do, actually. They're on YouTube. There is a link to my YouTube in the About section. Let me see if I can grab that. Sorry for the repetitive music here. Here we go. I see you'll be doing Fallout Tactics, yep. I do plan on doing Fallout Tactics at some point here, sometime in the near future. Of course, I'm going to treat that as a point-and-click adventure. This is what it really is. Be regularly showing up for the bucket of popcorn for that one. Played quite a bit of Police Quest in the 90s, but was terrible at them. Yeah, I kept crashing my car in the first one. I'd go around 15 miles an hour and I'd slide the car into a building or something. I forget what the message was. I would always wreck it. Let's see. So... to-do. That should be my YouTube channel. That doesn't seem right for some reason. Yeah, it took it to it. I'll get through this game so we can get past this music, because it is quite repetitive. This is a game called Awari. It's an old African game where it's my turn to move now. Wow, he really dumped some pieces there, didn't he? 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh yes. So we're gonna do just like that. But yeah, so, and on Wednesdays and Thursdays at night, on Wednesday night, after I get done with work, what I do is I usually play an arcade-style console game, something like that. This past Wednesday, we were playing, what was it? We were playing Wheel of Fortune for the PlayStation 1, the actual PlayStation 1, Wheel of Fortune, and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? So there we go, get them both in the camera. So we're playing those. Really had a lot of fun with those. The community, of course, can play, and it's not like it's not like I'm only playing this, stay away from me. No, it's very much solve the puzzle. Give me the answers, because I'm terrible at these games. And then on Friday nights, we do a friends and family and community-based multiplayer co-op. That kind of thing. We play everything from Jackbox, Golf with Your Friends, Phasmophobia, Left 4 Dead, wow, Team Fortress 2. It kind of goes on, and that's our Friday nights, usually about 8 p.m. Eastern Time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'm gonna kick his ever-loving butt this time. I think I just won. You have more stones in your home than I have in mine. You be the winner. Yes! I don't know if I ever won this game before. No, I'm not gonna play again. Wow, I beat him by 1 stone. There we go. Get out of the audio. And of course, Leisure Suit Larry. What 10-year-old didn't hide playing Leisure Suit Larry? I have never played Leisure Suit Larry, but I do have the entire series, and I do plan on playing those too. Games that are in the series that I'll be playing: Leisure Suit Larry, the entire series. Police Quest, the entire series. I only played the first and second one of that, and I barely remember playing the second one. The rest of Quest for Glory, the rest of Space Quest, because I've done Space Quest 1. All of King's Quest, because I've only played a couple of the King's Quest series. So all of those will eventually be run through. Never played the last 2 Larry games, which came out in 2018 and 20. I know, it's amazing that Al Lowe is still doing those games. I mean, he really hasn't stopped, has he? Only one of the Larry games isn't allowed on Twitch. Let me guess, it's 2020. As he got older, he got a lot more. The one which sucks. Well, that could go both ways depending on the game. On PS2, really? That would have to be like the, not the one from 2018 or 20. I don't really know which one would not be allowed on Twitch, because I haven't seen it on a banned list for them. At least not the official one, but that doesn't mean they haven't added it recently. Let's see. This is a cage for holding prisoners of the Simbani. Oh yeah, that's right. Let's see. So, one of the things too is you might have to endure some of my really bad voices in this game. Sorry. The Simbani are a roving people. This is only home for the season. Usually we will move soon to another village where our cattle can graze on fresher grass. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. The leopardmen are a sneaky people who live in the jungle. We have always stayed away from them before. Now that they stole our Spear of Death, they are our enemy. Yeah, it's not PC. It's not a point and click. It's more of an adventure game in 3D. I never managed to make it work, but I don't think I'm missing something. Probably not. I'd say the original series is probably the... I don't know, I've heard the last one wasn't too bad, but I'd say the original series is probably the only ones really worth playing. Kind of what I've heard. So I'll give you a rundown, too, of where we are in this game. We're really not that far into it, maybe an hour's worth of gameplay into it. This game probably isn't more than about 12 to 15 hours worth of play, as far as actual gameplay. But there are some tedious sections, as is with Sierra games in general. So we are visiting the Simbani after going to Tarna with our friend Rakesh, a Liontar, who deemed me a paladin in my previous adventure. The remake of the first episode, which is very nice. Point and click where you need to type your actions are pretty tricky. Yeah, it is. I'll be honest with you, I got the VGA version. I'd like to do the EGA version. Magna Cum Laude Uncut is the only one in the series with an adults-only designation. Ah, okay. Huh. I'm gonna have to remember that, actually. See. Bear with me for just a moment here. Bring my GOG over. Yeah, there we go. So I've got 1 through 6 is what I currently have. I have no mouth, and I must scream. I want to, only because of the name. The title of it is the only reason I want. If it's not the uncut version, you're good. I don't actually have that one. I think that is one of the newest ones, though. And I wouldn't be surprised if it is one of the newest ones, simply because. Thank you for that follow, everybody, really. Burb, Elvis Joe, Techard, Video Game Pizza, Angry Butcher. I missed all of you guys on the follow, I think, and I really appreciate it. And Hunden Howls, I like that. Hunden Howls, I like that. That's a cool name. Just kind of rolls off the tongue, or out of the back of your throat. Hunden Howls. But yeah, so I got 1 through 6. I got Police Quest. I got quite a few of them. I just got to get down and actually play them. That's the thing. And so, for the wonderful thing about these games is they're really not that long. We can really drag them out if we want. And we've dragged this one out this morning because we've done an awful lot of chatting and just kind of talking about the game, and had some interaction as far as improving the quality of the presentation for the video itself, for the actual game. One of the focuses here was to bring MT32 audio into it, because that's something that I never experienced. Now the real question is, do you have time for all of them? No. Actually, as long as I got enough Fridays in me, I guess eventually I will, yeah. I mean, in truth, if I just sat down and focused on the game, I could do 2 Fridays, be done with most of them. Like, each game. 2 Fridays, 5 to 6 hours each, I'd probably be able to finish them. Maybe throw in a quick look in a walkthrough or something for that one puzzle I might get stuck on. Maybe 2 puzzles occasionally. The only thing that would really hold me back is in something like Gold Rush, for example, where you constantly hardlock yourself if you don't leave at the right time at the beginning of the game. It can screw you up, and it's where everybody seems to get stuck. And then you spend like 2 hours trying to get past that one little section. Or longer, or just give up and say, how do I do this? Where does it? Just pull up the guide and show me. I kind of did that with Last Crusade last week. Getting through Castle Brunwald was a challenge. Easily the hardest part of that entire game. Gold Rush without a PDF to help you, yes. But it's a fun game. I really loved it. I thought it was wonderful. That was one of the ones that I did play as a kid. I never finished it because it was hard. It was probably one of the hardest ones that Sierra put out. At least to me then. I don't know if they are compared to now. So here's part of the trials. Habari hero Shapir, this be the place where the Simbadi practice balance and judgment. This is the wrestling bridge. The last part of the initiation contests are held here. Yeah, it's really great actually, but there's actions you can't guess. It's impossible. Exactly. That's part of the problem. There's no guidance at all. So they're going to talk about all this. She's going to talk about all the trials here. I'm not really going to read all of these because it's really pretty obvious what they do, but for the most part, every dialogue point in this game will help build your communication skills. And I need that because it's really weak. This one isn't so bad though. You can really get through this game if you pay attention to what you're trying to do. I mean, most of the puzzles are pretty obvious. You might have to do a little bit of back and forth. Like, for example, at the beginning, if you don't go buy a tinderbox and you come out to the Simbani village, it might make your trip back to Tarna a little bit more difficult because you can't safely sleep at night without having a fire, and you can't build a fire without the tinderbox, but you can only get the tinderbox in Tarna. So once you get to Simbani village, you're kind of stuck there until you can really build up your combat skills to fight the leopard men and other stuff that attacks you. So there are some drawbacks to this game as well, but for the most part, they're pretty obvious. Alright, so we're going to... Yeah, nobody seems to be listening. It helps if I click on it. So she's going to show me how to wrestle on the bridge. Now, if I remember right, he's going to fall off because he doesn't have balance for it. Ouch! That hurt. He fell over because he has no balance. I really, really appreciate the sound now so much more than I did before. Is you practice your balancing? What am I doing? A fake Russian accent? Is if you're balancing your character across the bridge constantly, it'll actually build your stats. I'll show you what I think it'll let me view them. Yeah. So my communication has gone from 125 to 135. My honor has increased 7 points since the last I looked. My intelligence are going up. Agility is going up. This is for me doing the balancing. Vitality also going up. My paladin skills increased by 7. They should throw balls at you when you're on the bridge, like in Takeshi's castle. That'd be funny. Make you dodge eggs or something. Just to give you something else to do while you're trying to not fall off of a log. Oh, yes, they did. In fact, they also used to come with additional materials, like Colonel's Bequest came with a manual that had print with a red filter over the top of it, a red colored filter over the top of it. You'd use a magnifying glass that had a red filter so that you could filter the red out and see what was in the manual. These also came with the invisible ink manuals that you could use to get hints. Now you don't even need a game manual that often, pretty much. But you know what? That was part of the artwork, really. I really regret not keeping these. I wish I had. Yeah, he's going to keep falling. I forget. I think 300 is my max skill, so you can get an idea of how weak this character really is. So I'll show you again my character sheet. I believe, I'm not positive, but I believe each of my stats here can max out to 300, and I'm only at 100 plus, just barely over 100 for any of them. Now, I've gone through Quest for Glory 1 and 2, so I built this character over two games, but still only just over 100. Also, manuals were part of the game design. They were, and they were fantastic. They hired people specifically just to do the manuals, and they were artists in their own right, not just people who said, "Oh, we need these, we need this, you know, you need this section, we need that section." Leisure Suit Larry 7, you had an odorama card. You just had to scratch it and smell it when the game says so, like when you're at the Back in the days when games were more physical, no kidding. I love those emotes, by the way. Who did your Clippy emotes? Those are hilarious. I love the simplistic nature of them, but they're just so perfect. You did them yourself. Well, you did a great job with them, I'll tell you that. I was gonna say, I love the devil one. That's hilarious. Oh, wow. The bits reward with the mask, the winky, the question. These are great. The shy, the cool. I have my own cool one. Actually came from another game, so I didn't actually create it. This is by far not my own creation. Groovy instead of cool, but more or less. At permission of the developer for the game, actually. Was a must after completing. Oh, that is okay. I get it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for DOS. Yes, out of gas.
Out of gas game.
Yeah, it's out of gas games. It's just a game, and no S at the end too. Wow. I don't know if he might have changed the Twitch title. He hasn't streamed in a while, but he's the game itself out of gas. I believe it's just exclamation point out of gas. It does kind of look like Ben from Full Throttle now that you mention it. The art was done by the creator. He did all the art. The creator of the game Out of Gas. It's kind of a Fallout retro style point and click. Let's see. There it is. You can actually pick it up from there, and it's actually a blast. He's still tweaking it and adding to it. He's a great guy too. If you ever, he did all the voices and what sound effects he didn't create, he added from free online sources. Full Throttle is amazing. That is actually one I'd like to play. That is actually one I'd like to play. I've never done that one. I want to play Sam & Max. I actually had the original Sam & Max when it came out, and didn't quite get through it because of a bug. In fact, I have this on PlayStation, which I got last week as well. I never could get it to play on PC either because of a bug. So we'll be doing this on PlayStation here probably in the near future. Well, definitely in the near future. There he is, out of gas. That's it. I don't know why it didn't pick up. Oh, you put 3 T's in there by mistake.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, I see. It's okay, I don't think he'll mind too much. So I'm beating up my poor hero pretty badly. His stamina's probably getting low. You can actually kill your character in this game, by the way, by overexerting yourself. So see his health points down to 76 out of 114, so he's working himself pretty hard. But his agility is increased, his vitality is increased. Telltale Sam & Max Season 1 is my favorite of the franchise. So many jokes and punchlines in that game. I'll eventually have to get to that one, but I want to do the original. Like back in the 90s original. There's so many retro Windows games that I want to play, but Windows 10 may be a problem. Not always. So this is being run in DOSBox, but you can also play it in ScumVM if you so desire. For depending on your tech level, ScumVM can be super easy to get to work. DOSBox is actually super easy to get to work, for the most part, right out of the box. But if you want to configure it to get exactly what you're looking for out of it, like sound and things like that, it's a little trickier. ScumVM might be a simpler way of getting past some of that.
Make sure you mention that I guess has a retro feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it is a newish game.
Yep, and Out of Gas is, by the way, focused on a retro feel as well. So it's a brand new game, like it's only a year old, but it's very retro in design. The art for it is amazing. The real chugger are games that require DirectX 7. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. The original Salmon Max, yeah, hit the road. That came out like 91 or so, or 9. No, wait, it actually came out before that, because Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade came out in like 1990, and there's actually a reference to a Salmon Max in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So it might have been 1990 along with it. But I did have it on an old 386, and I couldn't get it to work properly in Windows 3.1. I just didn't know enough about DOS and whatnot at the time. But yeah, that was one I've always wanted to play. Pretty much every LucasArts game that ever came out, if you haven't played it, you should. I mean, there really isn't a bad one in the series. There are some that may make you go, God, I don't know if I really want to finish it, but there's still a lot of good enjoyment, like TIE Fighter and X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and X-Wing. Those three, I'm not good with flight sims. I don't necessarily expect to ever finish that game, but I really, really had fun playing it when they came out. Particularly X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, which, by the way, we do have this, and I haven't played that yet on stream. Make my hero keep going across this bridge until he gets across, or he falls asleep trying. As his agility increases, he makes it further and further across the bridge, too. I used to play Star Wars Dark Forces a lot back in the day. I did stream that, actually. Oh, man, it was wonderful. Getting used to those controls again was definitely a challenge. But it didn't take me nearly as long to get used to the controls for that as it did for Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider, it took me about halfway through the game before I really got the feel for them. And then it took me until Tomb Raider 3 before I figured out really all the sneaky tricks and maneuvers that you can use. In Season 1, there's a cardboard box with a date on it. Corresponds to the cancellation date of the true Salmon Max 2. When you click on it, Sam says something like, "Oh, I remember that case. That was a dirty one." That's awesome. But yeah, so those are ones. I'll tell you, in the About section, there is a few games that I have listed that I'll be playing. Some of them I already have in inventory. It's just a matter of getting to them. I am some ones that are not listed that I do plan on finishing is the Eye of the Beholder series, the extension to the Gold Box series of Dungeons and Dragons games from the 80s. The Dig, Loom, both of those are LucasArts games as well. As someone mentioned, Fallout Tactics. I've got to finish Fallout 2 as well. There are the Leisure Suit Larry series. Let's see here. Maniac Mansion and, Day of the Tentacle, which are also LucasArts games. Have I played the 3 seasons? No. You just played. I'm gonna have to go check out your VODs and see that. Hang on, let me get a follow on you real quick and. That is awesome. There we go. So you've got, in fact, you just did Fallout Tactics as well. Half-Life you were just talking about. Awesome. Yes, I'm gonna have to come back and check out your work there for sure. It's really, oh, like 2020. You know what? Nothing in 2020 feels recent anymore. 2020 felt like it was 5 years at least. You've played the best ones then. Where is Sam and Max Telltale game were my jam in the 2010s? Telltale games around that time period, they were fantastic. The rebirth of Monkey Island. Oh my god, they did such a great job with Monkey Island. It was so fantastic, but it should, because Telltale was created by the creators of Monkey Island, at least two of them anyway. Two of the three major creators for it.
I can get into Telltale Walking Dead.
Let's see, where is Sam Max for game? Where did it go? The third season is kind of weird, but the ending, I wasn't ready for that. Back to the Future was nice too. I do want to play that one. I think my wife has that actually in her inventory to play. Let's see. But yes, I do have quite a few. We're going to play them in due time. Such a huge list. And they even created an original series called Hector, Badge of Carnage. I almost said Courage, but it's actually Carnage. Yeah, definitely gonna have to check these out. If you like trash and dark humor, it's something you have to play. I'm not familiar with Hector Badge of Carnage. Hang on a second, let's see. I bet you, they've got most of them on GOG, so I bet you GOG's got it as well. Let's see. Yes, they do. Oh, absolutely. I already like the artwork. Also known as the fat arse of the law, Hector is the flawed, misanthropic detective inspector with the Clappers Reek police force. Violent, drunken, callous, vulgar, sarcastic, bloody-minded on a good day. His philosophy, everyone is guilty. Probably one of the most hilarious games I've ever played. I'll definitely have to play that one. That came out in August 2011, it looks like, according to GOG. But again, you need to like this kind of humor. I'm okay with that. I mean, I played South Park, for God's sakes. 1 and 2. Well, there's more South Park, but the two recent role-playing adventure-type games. But yeah, for that, I'd definitely check it out. At Arse of the Law. Perfect then. Poor hero. He's getting his butt handed to him here. Where are we? 147 agility. He's down to 59 of 114. So we're going to keep building him up. That's one thing about this. I can sit here and chat, and it's not really so bad to grind through it. Not to mention, it might be the same thing over and over, but not as focused on the grind. And it's funny, by the way, when he finally makes it all the way across the bridge, you know what? Come to think of it, I bet you 150 is the max. I bet you only get 50 points per game. And in another mood, there is Sanitarium, another great point and click. I've heard of that one, but I don't know much about it. Sanitarium. He fell down and went bonk. Ooh. That kind of has a Baldur's Gate type feel to it. The artwork style. That's definitely retro. Came out about the same time as Baldur's Gate. It's a little bit older. Imagine a world created out of insanity, deformed children and ancient gods, ghosts from your past in the house hid inside of a water reflection. You are an asylum patient and you have just survived a car crash. The problem is, you can't remember anything. Visions reveal answers to some questions, but create even more riddles. Which part of it is true? What do all these things mean? That'll be worth checking out. So you guys are really introducing me to some stuff I hadn't heard of or really was even aware of, so thank you very much for that. It just caused my wish list to explode. Ensure that I never finish anything. With pleasure. We will bloat your wish list with pleasure. Bonk. I might actually make it across before I have to nap and get his energy back. And his health. Let's see, what do we have here? 56 and 120. No, it's not 50. Rename yourself Pleasure Man. Well, that could really have some incorrect, could create some incorrect assumptions. We're gonna go see the Pleasure Man. Oh, what? I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that.
You don't need Jack.
Yes, this is the only drawback to it, and one, it's not 50 per, so maybe it's 200? I don't know. Actually, you know what? I'm going to look this up, because I'm not really sure how weak my character is relative to all of this. I'm going to close that one. I need it now. Let's see. Yeah, it is 300. Wow. Each skill can be increased to a maximum of 300 at Quest for Glory 3. Strength goes up as you fight, practice weapon use, but it also goes up quickly as you practice throwing. So that's going to be a challenge. Because I'm so far behind. I can't help but looking that guy falling again and again. It's kind of sad, isn't it? If I could get it up close to like 180-ish for each of the skills, I'll feel a little bit safer about wandering around the plains, because that's probably closer to what would be expected by this game. Oh no, I still have to write a geology essay that no one will read. Better get going. Hope to see you. I hope to see you again soon, Video Game Pizza. I do stream Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday mornings at 7 a.m. I really appreciate the follow, and thank you for coming in with that raid. That was really awesome. We'll be back again tonight, too, so if you got some time to blow some steam, I don't know if you're where you are in the world, but it'll be about 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so more than welcome to come join us for that as well. We'll play some Jackbox and other things. And I just made it all the way across the bridge while I was sitting here talking to you. That would make it... Ah! Yeah, there you go. And we just completed it. Okay, so that means... roughly 160. Okay. See if he'll probably fall off the bridge this time, but we'll climb it and see what happens. You're right, though. That would make a pretty cool loading bar. Slow the animation down so that it takes, like, so much. Darn it. Somehow splattered water on my glasses. The only thing about these games is the grind itself. The music doesn't vary much, so it kind of gets a little redundant after a while. But one of the beautiful things too about Sierra is they were really the biggest they had the biggest focus on audio quality and music at the time. Pretty much any other developer, sound was a bit of a afterthought for most all the way up until the 90s, like mid 90s or so, and then they really started getting into the sound quality, especially with voiceovers and actual digitized recorded effects instead of MIDI oriented stuff. But some people were still using MIDI all the way up until the late 90s. The original EverQuest came out in 99, was using a MIDI soundtrack for audio, for the music, which I thought was bizarre, but even then, really. There we go. Look, he's done it twice. All right, so we'll call that good. I'm not going to make him run across it again, but we're going to save. Balance bridge. Now, and I said this earlier in the stream for those who are who weren't here, of course, I love the icons in this game. The cursor icons, that is. The little walk icon, the eyeball icon for viewing, the hand for action, the mouth, that one cracks me up. And then, of course, whatever your currently selected item is in your inventory will show up on your cursor as well. Okay, so really that and that. So we can go this way to go practice throwing. The walk icon is like having a baby version of your character. It is. Isn't it cool? In the Colonel's Bequest, it's a dagger. And then, of course, the sequel to that was the Dagger of Amon-Ra. Laura Bow. Who is going to tell me all about throwing a spear? This be the place where the Simbani practice throwing spears. No Simbani warrior will ever use a sword, since you cannot very well throw a sword in battle. Well, you could, but that'd be kind of stupid. If you are interested, I will be happy to teach you how to throw a spear. To hit your target with the spear takes both strength and throwing skill. You can build up your strength through practice, but you will be needing to use your brains to improve your throwing skill. Donk. You need to be using your head to judge such things as how high to throw a spear so that it falls to the target, and how much strength to be using. Once you figure those things out, you need to learn to adjust for the wind and throw a little ahead of a moving target. It all takes a good deal of practice to master spear throwing. Let's see, the target out there be made from the hides of animals. For practice, it does not move. During the initiation contest, it is pulled back and forth to make the contest more difficult. So pretty much... yeah, we already talked about the contest with her, so that's not new dialogue. Show me how you throw a spear at the target, and I will tell you how to be improving your skills. So grab a spear, turns to a spear icon. How awesome is that? Now the wind is blowing this way because you have a little flag over here on the left. So we want to kind of throw it a little bit this side of the target. Not this way, otherwise it's just off to the side. He's really weak, so I'm going to throw it like up. You do not yet be having the strength to hit the target. You will need to build up your muscles through combat or practice. Try throwing another spear. I then can judge how well you throw. She probably wants to leave the village if I'm going to practice this, because he's throwing so wildly, he's going to end up throwing it over his shoulder or something. Wow. I mean, he's just throwing it all over the place. He's not even getting close to the target. And you have to keep an eye. This wears you out really fast, but you have to keep an eye on your stamina and your health. It's getting very, very low. His agility is really high. I have throwing skills, so there's that. Figure out how much force is to use or how high to throw a spear is through practice. Okay. So there's really nothing I can do to change it other than just be aware of the... Simba's first toy was a spear. Alright, so I'm gonna go take back and get some rest before he... Because you can't kill your character doing this. He'll exhaust himself to death. All you have to do is go in here and take a nap. I need to go visit these two huts as well. So we'll go over here, rest for a moment. Oh wait, that's right. We'll rest for 60 minutes. And what does my stats look like now? Should have improved. Yeah, stamina's back up. Health is a little better. Throwing is better, 57. I'm gonna go talk to the Libon. Gosh, I need a shower. See you, man. Have a good day. Thank you for being in here, Burby. I appreciate the follow as well. I hope I'm getting your name right. But I really do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you guys again, really. I just can't visit the Libon yet. The guard won't let me in. That sucks. Not a good time to visit Uhura's hut. Okay. As the spear only traveled about 10 feet from you, you get the feeling you should have eaten more Wheaties. Either that or practice building up some strength more. Ooh, I got really close to the target that time. And I do just... Oh, he hit the target for the first time. Yay! Thankfully, this is actually a really easy exercise. Oh yeah, so he's exhausted now, so I'm gonna throw one more spear, get it out of my hands. Don't die on me. Okay, where is my stamina? Oh, whoa, 0. But my strength is going up, so is my vitality, so let's go rest. Yeah, throwing is far more exhausting than the bridge. Here it is. Get another 60 minutes in there. What's my stats look like now? 124, 146, 65 in health. Okay, so that's improving. That's good news. Alright, do a little bit more throwing here. The irony is that we'll probably be finishing the stream while I'm doing exactly what I ended it doing the first time I played this, which is pretty much here in the Simbani village throwing the spear, and it's starting to get dark. The day-night cycle is so awesome. I love how I throw way off to the left and he actually ends up throwing it, or way off to the right and he ends up throwing it way off to the left. Let's getting dark. Wow. He actually threw it where I told him to throw it. Wow. Eventually, he does actually start hitting the target more often than not. But my throwing skill really needs to be improved. Alright, so we're gonna walk away. Just like your mother always told you. Oh, look how he neatly stacked them, too. Such a friendly hero. Angry Butcher, this is like trying to do the sniper testing in Police Quest SWAT. Yep, with no guidance and only one attempt. Oof. Well, at least you get more than one attempt here. And it's really rapid too. I mean, you just keep throwing. Like his agility's already 172, max is 300, so he's doing pretty well agility-wise. Strength is increasing. I started out in the 90s and at 112 now, so that's also a bonus. My throwing started out at 50, so I've gained 25 points there. I mean, it's really not too bad. It's just tedious, you know, because you have to do the grind, basically. I even threatened to just do the grind off stream, and I might do that anyway, just so that I don't have to sit here and force people to endure. It's like, oh my god, I don't want to see him throw another damn spear. Somebody's been messing with these spears. I put them all up nice and neatly, and look at this mess that they've done. And I could do without this dialogue. They could have done this a few times and then said, all right, we're just going to let you throw it. But it'll keep doing that over and over. It really wasn't necessary. Almost hit the target. I really do need to play the Police Quest series. That's one that I always wanted to play more of. I want to do Codename Iceman and Gold Rush as well. They were just single games. There was no series to those. But Iceman was tough. I remember playing that as a kid, and I had the hardest time driving the submarine. They aren't all that long, but these games were tough. Yeah, they're anywhere from about 10 to 20 hours worth of actual gameplay if you just focus on playing the game and getting through the storyline. You know, barring any real horrible snags that you run into. I did Space Quest in 2 streams, roughly about 8 hours worth of gameplay. And no walkthroughs. I didn't, and that was even doing the arcade part of getting from the crash landing to the city. So, you know, I mean, if I just said just do it, because it was the VGA version, if I said just do it, just take me to the city and not worry about the arcade, it probably would have been closer to about 6 or 7 hours worth of gameplay, because it took me about an hour to get through it. I remember my stepdad playing one of the Ultima games on his Commodore 64. He had notebooks full of notes and hand-drawn maps. I actually have something similar. Not quite books, but... Where'd it go? No, that one. There it is. I bring this out periodically, actually. So I have Escape from Monkey Island when it came out. I mean, it's the, you know, the CDs, the whole thing, the double CD set. How cool is this? dual fold CD case, you know? Really just cool artwork too. But anyway, so I had that, but when I opened up the disc, I hadn't opened it in years and years until last year, and inside of it is some handwritten notes that I had created for when I played it the first time, complete with yellowed edges of the paper and all. But I had to do the same thing because some of these puzzles you couldn't, especially when they were brand new, you didn't have a walkthrough online that you could easily find. Monkey Island, that series was fantastic. I did the first one. I've got to do the second one, which I've played the third one, Curse of Monkey Island, on stream. Getting Monkey Island 4 to work in Windows 10 is a bit tricky. And I haven't quite managed to get that. I need to install it in a Windows 95, 98 environment and then be able to transfer the installation over to Windows 10, and it'll work just fine after that. But I can't get it to install in a Windows 95 virtual machine because it requires an audio driver in order to run the installer, believe it or not, and it causes it to crash because apparently the audio driver in VMware for Windows 95 is just not fully functional, I guess, or at least not good enough for the installer to actually process. So I may end up having to buy it at some point to finish the series. Not VMware, but VirtualBox. I'm sorry. I'm used to VMware at work, and I meant VirtualBox. But yeah, VirtualBox. Maybe I should try VMware, to be honest with you. I hadn't really thought about that. Ooh, look at that. Luck even went up to 99. But yeah, so that's really where I stand at that. And I will eventually get to it. I've got to do the second Monkey Island. That's one that I hadn't played in series. Like, I didn't play it in order. I played it in order when they came out. I played all of them, all 5 of the original anyway. The 5? Yeah. I had to think for a minute. There is 5. The Telltale one was the 5th one. Another VMware nerd, consultant myself. I only use it, it's part of a system that we use for work-at-home employees to give them a consistent virtual environment that they can use rather than having to support multiple systems. So we send them home with a self-contained unit, and then they just connect through VMware to do their work. Works well enough. Yeah, exactly. But I have more experience with VirtualBox, mostly tinkering, than I do with VMware beyond that. I know how to function within VMware. I just don't. The last time I configured VMware was, God, it's got to have been 11 or 12 years ago. And I want to say, I don't know if it's free now or not, but there was a free version then that you could use and play with, not as well as the Enterprise, but I had it, I want to say I had it on a Linux machine at the time, and I was just playing with, like, installing Windows XP on it. But that was pretty much the extent of my experience. That's your daily life in the corporate world. Hey, it could be a lot worse. I mean, virtual machines are their own beast as it is, but for the most part, I could find that a lot more fun than some of the stuff I do. God, he gets so exhausted, dude. You need some more, like, you need to get better. He needs a more physical life. Poor hero. Some hero he is. He throws a spear 3 or 4 times and he's done for the day. Alright. ESXi is technically free for personal use. Workstation is not, however. Yeah, it's changed a lot since then. I'm sure it's, I don't even remember what they called it back then other than VMware. 124, 154, 133, 119. Okay. I'm going to get him over 100. Back in the day, GSX sat on top of Windows Server. It was free. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Yeah. Faster than a speeding bullet, you retrieve your spears. Hey, he's finally starting to hit the target like once every 10th throw. Ooh, twice in a row. 3 times he hit the spear, or the target. He's becoming a master at this now. Alright, let's see where we stand for my stats. There we go. Alright, so throwing's over 100. Serious, I'm back. Sorry I was hair drying my shower curtains. No, that is not a euphemism. Alright. We're just throwing a spear around. Pardon me. Don't die, hero, from your exhaustion. Although that would be an interesting euphemism. I actually heard a great one the other day. In fact, it was actually on C-SPAN. During a phone conversation. Well, it was a feedback from callers in asking about the hearings and whatnot, you know, what they thought about it. And one guy got on the phone and says, now, this is some, I'll see if I can replicate it as well as possible. This is some kind of male bovine fecal matter. And I literally had to run that through my head a few times before I realized what he was saying. And I thought it was one of the funniest phrases I think I'd ever heard somebody come out with. Male bovine fecal matter. Alright, he's just about where he needs to be. What time is it in game? That's right, time here is day. I like it. I do too. I'm like, I'm going to use that. Get upset with somebody saying something really bad, I'll be like, yeah, that's a male bovine fecal matter right there. You get out of here. That's a real male bovine fecal matter. I washed the curtains last month and I let it dry on the rod. Well, they stayed kind of wrinkled and that bothered me. So today I got I'm getting those pesky wrinkles out. We're gonna get those wrinkles out of your curtains. Doesn't quite work, does it? And that would fall in the gray area between G and PG. Well, it's kind of like Shrek. You can watch Shrek, and all of the innuendo throughout that movie is fantastic. And for kids watching it, the innuendo is so subtle that they likely would never grasp some of the darker or more adult humor that's in that movie. Am I right? I mean, that's one of those that's really... the whole movie is a gray area. Which is hilarious, by the way. That by itself is one of the funniest parts of that film. A lot of the animated movies are like that. It's great. Of course, this game has a few of those as well. So it might just be a product of the times, too. He's actually hitting the target, like... Aw, almost said regularly. need a macro for this. That's what it is. Just give me a macro. I just sit back. I like the euphemism Joe Bob Briggs. Ooh, Joe Bob Briggs! Now that's a name I hadn't heard of. Bam in a cabin, meaning a horror slasher when people go in a building and dead bodies come out. Yep.
Can't believe somebody would
I haven't heard anybody else use his name in so long. Yeah, do what?
Besides you and me.
Yeah, besides my wife and I, because we would watch his show when we were first dating back in the 90s. Was it on Sci-Fi Channel or what was it? I forget what it was on, but we would watch his show. Oh no, it might have been TNT. Joe Bob hosts on Shudder now. Really? Okay. I have to go find something by him. I haven't really seen him since I've watched that show back. Yeah, I figured he probably was. People like him don't stop. Yeah. Monster Vision. I want to say he's even had some cameos and some, like, kind of...
We even recognized him in something a while back.
Yeah, that's true. We did, didn't we? But yeah, he's hilarious. I always got a kick out of his presentations. He just has a great way of presenting B-movies. He's also done some books as well. I remember reading that he had done... How he managed to get his hosting job was because of his book. It basically went over the knowledge of his B-movies when he would go to drive-ins and whatnot as a kid, sneaking in or whatever, watching movies all day or all night. He is presenting more than ever now, since he can curse and say basically whatever he wants. He get on there. That's some male bovine fecal matter right there. He did 1 or 2 24-hour marathons on Shudder. I'd believe it. I'd really believe that. The sun's about to go down. Let's go run out here one more time. We're going to do one more day cycle. Or just finish up this one night cycle here. And, uh-oh. What's going on here? We have a special event in the Simbani village. I'm Jumbo Mwamwana. The crowd responds, Sijumbo Wana. I have caught a story. Crowd answers, we will listen. It is all a lie. It is all the truth. Listen and learn. Crowd answers, we will listen. There once was a people, a proud people, a people with the wealth of the land and their cattle, a people with a spear of death. One day a thief came into this village and stole the spear of death. The answers, we will listen. This thief stole more than just the spear. He stole the pride of the people. He stole the honor of the people. He stole the wealth of the people. This thief showed the people that they had an enemy. There cannot be peace as long as you have an enemy. We will listen. Now the people be angry. Now the people see the enemy in every stranger. Now the people have lost the great wealth of peace. Now the people call out for war. They call upon friends to join them in war. They call out at the enemy to meet them in war. But the enemy does not speak. We will listen. Stop it, crowd. Let him talk. So the people go to war against an enemy they cannot see. The people go to war against an enemy they cannot hear. The people go to war against an enemy they do not know. Who will win this war? The people do not know. The people know that without the spear there be no wealth. The people know that without the spear there be no peace. The people know that without the spear there be no enemy, or there be the enemy. The people will fight the enemy and they will win. The people will fight the enemy and they will lose. That is always the way when there be an enemy. That is always the way when there be war. That be the story that I found. We listen and learn. I now set the story free. We will remember. The crowd breaks up and everyone goes back to their huts to sleep. Now he starts having dreams, if I'm not mistaken. You awaken as the sun begins to rise. All right. I am going to finish up as we have it today. We will pick this back up Friday. Try to be on time next Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard. But we do have another... Whoa, hey, slow down there, Slick. There we go. Oh, thank you so much for that follow, Sirius. I really appreciate that. I keep wanting to call you Sirius because I keep thinking of Harry Potter. Sirius. Oh, I appreciate... Thank you for the follow. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of that raid. Of the 3 raids we've had this morning, it has been fan-freaking-tastic. I mean, it really has. I really appreciate it. Channel Points Challenge. Yes, if you've got channel points, you are more than welcome to redeem them for the challenge that we have. Dead Space does scare me indeed. I am a real wuss when it comes to that particular game. If we can hit 100 within the next 2 weeks, I will step away from the retro for the first and third person adventure series, and we'll be doing Dead Space on Wednesdays and Thursday mornings until I complete it. I may be a quivering mass by the time I'm done with it, but we will finish it. By the time I get to work. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope that you appreciate the game itself as far as the way it's presented. I love the artwork for the Sierra series. It's one of my absolute favorite things about Sierra. The audio itself is a big thing for me, and this is new on my stream, is to bring this level of audio to the game, because I've never heard it like this. It's just beautiful. So in any case, I will be uploading these to my YouTube channel as we complete them. I know there's a lot of non-gameplay conversation that went on with it, but I think it'll be part of the archive. So you can always go back and check it out later too. Before we go though, I would like... see if we can find somebody to raid into. If there's... Let's see who we have. Oh, you know what? We're going to bring the love back to Free Needles, because I know... Where is he? Yeah. Let's raid into Free Needles. I haven't raided into him in quite some time. And he has... I don't remember exactly how I ended up meeting him. I know he came into my channel at one point. I can't remember. I think I raided him once. Kind of got it started. But he is fantastic. I absolutely love his style. I love his emotes. Anyway, so let's raid into Free Needles and tell him hello. There he is. Looks like he just got started 25 minutes ago. He dipped out after he, it does, doesn't it? He dipped out when he came in with the raid, because he wants to play this particular game that we're doing here, and he did not want that to color his experience. Yeah, I don't blame him for that.
Much like you with Cyberpunk.
Much like me when he was doing Cyberpunk, absolutely. So, all right, before we go, I've got a lot to say before this raid kicks off. So much has happened this morning. We started off with a raid from Turskelly. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I hope everybody had a great time with Tursk, as always. We also had... where did it go? Along with that was a subscription from Squad Car. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. And then right behind that was Pixelmancy, rated in with 26. We also had another raid with Joe with a party of 38. You guys have been absolutely amazing for this Friday. You don't know how much you've made me happy, really. Just all of the events. The Game Terrorist, Pixelmancy, Angry Butcher, Video Game Pizza, Techard, Burb, Joe, Hundenhall, Cirrus. Thank you all so much for the follows. Thank you for the contributions to the Channel Point Redeem. Everybody, just have a great day. Be safe, and we're done.